Are there some kind of secret karma police agents who go around with spy cams, secretly recording everything one says or does or even thinks? Do they send all that data to a karma server in the sky, where all the data is processed and the respective punishments meted out to people as per their deeds? How ridiculously stupid can even such a thought be? Well, that's what many professional, self-proclaimed death experts who are supposedly consulted by souls of famous dead actors claim. They even charge heavily for their services, which they justify by claiming access to Akashic records or sky records. What in the world is that? Now, why do people and organizations that sell such nonsense thrive? The simple reason is the ignorance of the masses. As long as there are gullible victims, there will be cheats. The concept of karma, often misunderstood or shrouded in superstition, is essentially about the patterns and outcomes in our lives that are heavily influenced by our own attitudes, actions, and reactions. Here's a simplified breakdown of how karma functions and impacts our lives and even those of our descendants. Understanding karma and life patterns. 1. Self-generated patterns. Repetition of events. Similar events recur in our lives due to certain factors within us, our attitudes, perceptions, actions, and reactions. For example, if one consistently approaches situations with negativity, they are likely to encounter repeated conflicts and setbacks. Influence of personal factors. These include genetics, upbringing, education, experiences, and significant life events. They shape our individual philosophies and ways of interacting with the world. Example: a person raised in a nurturing environment may develop a more positive and empathetic outlook, leading to more favorable outcomes. 2. Responsibility and self-discovery. Taking responsibility. A crucial step in understanding and changing our life patterns is acknowledging that we are responsible for what happens to us. This shift from blaming external factors, fate, others, deities, to introspection and self-accountability is vital. For example, recognizing one's role in a failed relationship can lead to personal growth and healthier future relationships. Avoiding blind beliefs. People often resort to superstition or blind beliefs when they don't understand why certain things happen. Instead, using logic and introspection to understand these patterns can lead to more constructive outcomes. Example: instead of attributing financial problems to bad luck, analyzing spending habits and making practical changes can lead to financial stability. 3. Change and self-improvement. Need for change. If we desire different results in our lives, we must change our attitudes and actions. The continuation of the same attitudes will lead to repetitive patterns. For example, adopting a proactive mindset instead of a reactive one can lead to more control over life's events. Defined goals. Clearly defining what we want to change is essential. Without clear definitions, we can't effectively refine or improve our lives. Example: setting specific health goals, such as exercising 3 times a week and achieving a specific weight or waist size, can lead to better physical and mental well-being. 4. Influence on future generations. Genetic and environmental transmission. Our behaviors, attitudes, and even unresolved issues can influence our descendants through both genetic inheritance and the environment we create for them. Example: parents who manage stress effectively are likely to raise children who can handle stress well. patterns of behavior. Children often mimic the attitudes and behaviors of their parents, thus perpetuating similar patterns in their own lives. Negative patterns cannot be altered unless there is a conscious effort to change. Example, a family with a strong work ethic often passes this trait down through generations. 5. Spiritual perspective. Surrender to higher principles. A lot of people use the idea of karma as an excuse to accept defeat and say that it is their past karma which cannot be changed, and therefore they cannot and need not do anything but silently suffer. This passive acceptance leads to a life of unfulfilled potential and unnecessary hardship. Instead, it is crucial to understand that while our past actions influence our present, we have the power to alter our future through our current attitudes and actions. By taking responsibility and actively working towards positive change, we can break free from the cycle of suffering and create a more fulfilling life. Krishna says in Shloka 1866 of the Srimad Bhagavad Gita, "Giving up all your ideas of righteousness or religion, take complete refuge in me. I will liberate you from all your sinful reactions or karma. Do not fear." Surrendering to Krishna has been misinterpreted by many as singing songs in his praise, pouring liters of bovine mammary fluids on his statues, or spending entire days at the feet of Krishna in his temples. The truth is that surrendering to Krishna symbolizes letting go of ridiculous, meaningless, and harmful beliefs. This involves several key steps. Understanding the mind's dual nature. Recognize that the mind can be one's best friend and, if left unharnessed, also one's worst enemy. Acknowledging the divine in all. Know that the self in every being is Krishna himself, and thus treat all living beings equally. Embracing self-improvement principles. Maintaining calm. Always maintain calm and completely avoid being driven by emotions. Practicing social responsibility. Perform work with social responsibility and never be driven by results. This spiritual surrender can be seen as a metaphor for adopting a mindset of openness and continuous self-betterment. Just like all objects have inertia, or the tendency to continue their state unless acted upon by an external force, our life patterns also exhibit a kind of what I call karmic inertia. This means that things will continue to happen as they always have unless a person realizes this inertia, identifies the areas needing change, and actively works on them. This is a more practical and realistic approach than depending on divine intervention or relying on charlatans who offer solutions for a price. Practical steps to alter life patterns. 1. Self-assessment. Regularly evaluate your attitudes, actions, and reactions. Identify patterns that lead to undesirable outcomes. Example, keeping a journal can help in recognizing negative patterns and triggering positive changes. 2. Responsibility acceptance. Accept that you are the primary agent of change in your life. Blaming external factors only hinders personal growth. Example, taking ownership of career progress rather than blaming the job market can lead to more proactive career development. 3. Actionable changes. Create a clear list of changes you want to make. Break them down into small, actionable steps. Example, if you want to improve your health, start by incorporating more fruits and vegetables in your diet and gradually increase physical activity. 4. Education and mindfulness. Educate yourself on new perspectives and practices that promote positive change. Practice mindfulness to stay aware of your behaviors and their impacts. For example, mindfulness meditation, or simply observing your own actions and reactions to external stimuli, can help in recognizing and altering stress responses. 5. Support systems. Surround yourself with people who encourage your growth and are willing to support your journey of self-improvement. Example, Joining a supportive community or group focused on personal development can provide motivation and accountability. By understanding karma as the patterns we create through our attitudes and actions, and by taking active steps to change these patterns, we can transform our lives and positively influence the lives of our future descendants. The core idea that I propose of living the life of a responsible soul is self-discovery and understanding one's patterns by taking full responsibility rather than blaming others, fate, God, karma, or similar factors. Again, karma in this sense is simply the continuation of our own attitudes which cause repetitive patterns in our lives. If we want to change our lives, we need to change, not others. To sum up, we are directly responsible for everything that happens in our lives, even when troubled by others. Think about it. Unless we allow others to trouble us, no one can trouble us. Secondly, in any situation, first come to terms with it, at least temporarily, and allow your intelligence to overpower your emotions and work effectively. Thirdly, define and list all the things you would like to change in your life. Simply saying, I want to change myself or my life is not enough. You need to specify and define what exactly you want to change into. If you cannot define, you cannot refine. The solution is with you. Your undesirable karmic chains can be broken by none other than you. The reset button. Some people wish they had a reset button in life to change things for the better. Well, every morning when we wake up, we can consider it a new janma or new life. If we choose, we can easily change the entire narrative of our lives, effectively resetting things in a positive way. Deciding to be a responsible soul can completely alter one's life for the better, and there is no doubt about this. Thank you. Stay blessed. Jai Shri Krishna.